Hey guys! Okay, so I wanted to make a video because as I was snuggling into bed, I was realizing that I didn't have anything to read. And the favorite part of my day is when I get to snuggle in my bed and right before I go to sleep and read something. That sounds really funny because it's like my favorite part of my day, but I really enjoy doing that. Just because it's my time to de-stress and not worry about anything else and just like have my relaxation me time kind of thing. A lot of people take baths, a lot of people go running, like everybody has their relaxation time, like listen to music, watch TV, whatever. Which definitely, granted, I do all those things, but I like reading books the best just because I get to go into another world and I don't get called out of it. Like if I'm reading at school, I don't have to stop and go to a class or whatever. Like I can just go until the point that I can't read anymore or it's really late and I need to go to bed for school and I stop reading. But I still got to keep it on my mind. Like I don't have to stop and think about something else. I just got to go to sleep and kind of like dream about it a little bit. So it's my favorite part, but I realized tonight that I didn't have anything to read because I finished everything that I've been reading lately. So I decided to do a review instead. There may be spoilers, but I'm hoping that I keep my mouth shut. It just might slip. So I'm trying to be careful, but, I'm just forewarning you if there's spoilers. Don't get mad at me. Anyway, so first off, I just finished The Hunger Games, the first one I let somebody borrow right now. But I just finished The Hunger Games trilogy, and to tell you the truth, I absolutely loved it. I know that that's really cliche and everybody's like, oh, Hunger Games, and even before I started reading them, I was kind of like, oh, they must be really good. And they really were, and they're nothing like anything I've ever read before. I've always read like really cheesy, mushy relationship romance junk, or just like coming of age novels and things like that. I've never really read something that's super suspenseful and like keeps you on the edge of your seat kind of thing, and I really liked it. I thought it was so good. I thought it was so clever. Like, I'm trying to think of her name. Oh, there we go. Suzanne Collins, who's the author, is just, the way she devised the whole plot was just so smart, and she obviously had to know what was going to happen from start to finish. At least I think. Like, I don't think there's any way she could have, like, I mean, she may have, but it was just so intertwined and interwoven, like, so well that I couldn't have imagined her, like, just going from book to book to book and just making it up as she went along, just because it was so smart. It's so clever, and everything worked so well together, and I just really enjoyed the originality, I guess I would say. I've heard a lot of people say that this is very similar to Ender's Game, which I've never read personally, so I can't make that assessment, but it's good. So, I mean, if you liked Ender's Game, I would read it. If you never even heard of that, I would read it anyway. I would read it. That's all I was going to say. I would read it. To be perfectly honest, it was really hard for me to get through because this trilogy is really sad. Like, it's not easy. It's not happy-go-lucky. It's a really sad trilogy. There wasn't really happily ever after. I mean, I guess depending on your perspective, there might have been, but it wasn't like, oh my gosh, everything's so amazing and life is so beautiful and there's rainbows all the time. Like, it definitely wasn't like that. And personally, I like the way it ended. That's like a huge controversy with Hunger Games fans, is the way it ended. But to be perfectly honest, I think if they gave the happily ever after kind of theme, that it really would have ruined the whole series, I think, because the whole mood the whole entire time wasn't ever happily ever after. There really wasn't, like, any time in the series where everything was perfect and beautiful and bright, or, like, good even. There wasn't a very long time where things were just good, or ever, where it was just, like, perfectly good at its essence. So, I mean, they may have, like, sweet moments or, happy moments for a little while, but it wasn't, like, the whole situation was never just perfectly good. So I think if there was just random, miraculous, happily ever after, it would have really been untrue to the mood and the theme of the stories, and really would have off-put a lot of people and made people upset, I think. Even though the ending did make people kind of upset anyway, but I personally liked it. I thought it was beautiful. I won't ruin the ending for you guys, just in case you're in the middle of the series, or if you haven't read them yet. but I did love the ending, to be perfectly honest. Now let's get to the romance here. So there wasn't a whole lot of romance. I mean, there definitely was romantic aspects of it, but Katniss wasn't worried about romance. So that's something which is kind of refreshing, because I think there's so many things lately that have so much romance in them that it was kind of nice to get to something that wasn't based on love and romance and things like that. But it still had those aspects in it, so it wasn't completely empty of that. I would say that they didn't completely, like, satiate my romantic side of myself, where I, like, wanted more, but that's just from my perspective. And it was perfect for Katniss, because Katniss isn't a romantic person. She doesn't really truthfully care about love in that way throughout the kind of series until maybe the end. I don't really know. It's from your own perspective. However, I really enjoyed the relationships that were made from the male's perspective. Like, I'm pro PETA. Like, not the, like, animal rights group. I mean, like, the character in here. He was my favorite. I thought he was the most genuine, the most sweet. In a way, the most realistic character. I loved PETA. I was gunning for PETA the whole time. I think a lot of people who've read the series, my friends who talked to me about it, say like they were back and forth with the guys, and I really never was. I wasn't a Gale fan. I didn't like him. I just didn't. I always thought he was kind of selfish in the romance sector himself, because I think Katniss is a little bit selfish in it, but I thought he was very selfish as well, and it just, I don't know. And you find something kind of jarring at the end that really pushes me to believe the selfish factor. For at least from my perspective, I didn't like it. I didn't like him. So PETA was my favorite. Anyway, so that was that. Team PETA. These books are very emotional because they're very sad, but there isn't a lot of emotions in it because Katniss is very closed off. She's her walls up. She's very defensive because she's been living in such a hard life. So it's very hard for me, because I'm so emotionally driven, that I have such a hard time, like, reading these books, because, like, I want her emotions to burst forth. Like, I want to feel, like, I feel what she's feeling, but at the same time, like, I'm feeling so much more because, like, the situation's so crappy most of the book, and, like, I'm hurting and I'm sad and all this stuff, and she's not really letting herself feel that, and it's kind of hard, at least for me, because I put so much into these books, but it's like back and forth with the emotions, and I didn't really know how to feel, but I do recommend you reading them. That's all I'm going to say from that point on, is they're awesome. I loved them. Go read them. I'm sure you might be able to find them at half-price books. I would check them out. I know that Catching Fire and Mockingjay are only on hardbound, and they're $17.99, I believe. Yeah, $17.99 each, which is kind of pricey. I realized that books are really expensive right now. Like, I never realized how expensive books are. It's weird. $17.99 for these bad boys, like hardbound. So if you don't want to spend that, I would definitely go see if you can find them at the library or at half-price books, so at least you're not paying that much money. But Hunger Games, the first one, is on paperback, so it's cheaper. So also, you get it for half-price books, it'll be even cheaper. So I would go there. You probably get it for like $4 or something. Next, I want to talk to you about the next series that I've started. Okay, so wait, really quickly, ratings-wise, like parental ratings, which just sounds really stupid. This is really, really intense and kind of violent, so I would be careful. I would recommend these to teens. There isn't really a lot of, like, overbearing violence and stuff like that, but it is kind of, like, violent, so I would just be wary. If you don't like violent things, I wouldn't necessarily read these, but I wouldn't, like, recommend these to tiny children, obviously, but I don't think a tiny child is going to be picking up a big book like this. So that was kind of a stupid statement. But I'm just saying, violence are definitely in these. But there isn't a lot of, like, sexual innuendos or cussing or anything like that. It's just mostly violence and suspense and stuff like that. Okay, next, I've been reading the Nora Roberts Bridal Quartet thing she has. And these are, I think, her best-selling novels. And Nora Roberts is kind of like a romance novel writer. this isn't necessarily on that thing, I would say, spectrum, but it definitely has a lot of romance in them. Just to be a brief overview, there's 4 books, and they're each about a girl that's in the same wedding planning company called Vows, and they're all best friends, and it's kind of like about like their career in Vows and like their life and their love and all that stuff. They're really good. They all intertwine. You get to meet the characters, all the characters in each girl's book. So it's like all the other of her best friends in Vows who also have each of their own books. You get to meet them in the beginning of whatever, you know, and kind of see where their life is going. So, for instance, like after this book, I'll still get to see what's going on in her life through the next book and stuff like that. So, the first one is Vision in White, and this one is about a girl named Mac, and she is a photographer for Vows. And basically, she just, you know, falls in love, the cheesy, traditional stuff. But it's just really good, and see how she goes about that, and, you know, if she stays with him because she's, you know, freaked out, it's not her normal stuff, or what happens. But it's actually really beautiful. I really liked it. It was cute. It wasn't astounding. Like, it wasn't like, oh my gosh, I can't, like, get enough of it. After actually just reading this one, there's 3 more, and I don't really know if I like really want to read the other ones. Like, they were good, but they weren't, like, I was just like riveted in a way. But I probably will if I can't find anything else that I'm really just into. Okay, it's just really bothering me. I'm sorry. Anyway, this is $16, which is insane to me because a hardbound is $17.99. This is just a little paperback that's $16. It's insane. It's so expensive. But anyway, I think it's because they have like the little flappies on the inside, and then the paper is all that rigid, like, you can see that, like that weird cool paper, but it's really hard to flip the pages, and it makes everything more expensive. Anyhow, it's a beautiful book. Like, I'm very much, in a way, like this character, not with her like family issues, but with just like her emotions in a way, and the way she sees things. She's a photographer and things like that. Out of all of them, I'm probably most like her. So it's kind of cool because I didn't really have to exert much effort into becoming this character because she was very similar to me, which was kind of nice to be kind of, you know, whatever. And her love interest in here is so cute, and I would like my dream man. I mean, he with like Jesus in him. That may sound weird, but you know, yes. So, like, if he loved God and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know if he does. They just never talked about it. Okay, I'm gonna stop rambling. Anyhow, I loved the love interest in here. Like, he was really attractive to me and like cute and quirky and really awkward, and I find that really endearing. Anyhow, to move on from that. So, this, I would definitely say, rating-wise, is probably like an M for mature. There isn't like a whole lot of like bad junk. There's some language in here. There is some language in here. So there's language. There's a lot of sexual innuendos, and like sex scenes in the books and stuff like that, and they're pretty vivid. I mean, she makes them sound beautiful, but they're just like vivid and kind of disturbing because you don't expect it, and it's always like, oh, okay, woo, in your face. Like, is the car alarm going off? Anyway, I don't really need to know all that, but yeah. So be careful if you're reading this. I wouldn't recommend this to my like younger viewers, just because it is very like in your face and it can make you slightly uncomfortable because it's such an intimate moment you're watching. But I do like these books. But like I said, I don't know if I'll continue on. But it was cute. It was a cute, like, easy read, I guess I would say. But that's all I've been reading lately, and those are my book reviews. So, you know, go on, catch up. I think I'm going to read 13 Reasons Why, my next book. So if you've read it, tell me what you like about it, or if you like it or if you don't like it, whatnot. Yeah. So that's what's been going on with me. I'll be coming out with more videos. I'm sorry that I've been so lazy, but that's everything. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.